could join us back again this week. Last week we talked about Noah and his new beginning, God's plan for his new beginning. And I just wondered, did anybody see a rainbow last week? I didn't, even though it rained a couple of times. Did anybody go to the zoo? Did anybody figure out what a weedy sea dragon is or what my favorite animal is at the zoo? Don't forget to email me your answers. I'd love to hear from you. So lots happened between the time of the flood and our story today. We're going to hear about Abraham. And I encourage you to read in your Bibles some of the big events that happened. So this week we're going to talk about Abraham and God's plan for him. Could this be another new beginning? Go get your Bibles and join me for this story.
Chapter 2. God builds a new nation. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great. You will be a blessing to others. Genesis chapter 12, verse 2. The earth recovered from the great flood. Noah's family grew and grew and grew. Once again, people were scattered over the face of the whole world. God's great and grand and glorious vision was still alive. He had plans to build a new nation, and it would all start with one ordinary man. Abraham trusts God. Genesis chapter 12 verses 1 through 9, chapter 15 verses 1 through 6, and chapter 21 verses 1 through 7. One day God spoke to Abram. I have big plans for you, Abram. I will bless you and make your name great. You will be a blessing to others. I will make you the father of a great nation. Leave your country and your people and go to a land that I show you. Pick up everything and start walking. Eventually, I will show you where to stop. Amazingly, Abram trusted God. He gathered the members of his household, packed up all his belongings, and started walking across the desert. He had no idea where he was going. When he arrived in the land of Canaan, God said, "You can stop walking, Abram. This is the land I'm going to give you and all the people who come after you." So Abram and his wife Sarai pitched their tents and settled it. In the land. Many years passed. Then, one cool, dark night, God called Abram in his tent. "Abram, come outside. Look up at the sky. Count the stars, if you can even count that high. I promise you will have as many children as there are stars in the heavens." Abram believed God, even though Abram was old, and even though his wife Sarai was old and had never been pregnant. Abram still believed God would make him into a great nation. Many, many more years passed. Now Abram was 99 years old and Sarai was 90. Once again, God spoke to Abram. "Abram, today I'm going to make a covenant with you. You will be the father of many nations. Your name will now be Abraham. Give your wife the name Sarah, for she will be the mother of many nations. She soon will have a son." Abraham fell on the ground laughing. He said to himself, "A great nation will come from me? But how? Sarah and I are too old to have children." But soon Abraham and Sarah learned that nothing was too hard for God. A year later, Sarah gave birth to a baby boy. Abraham named him Isaac, which means to laugh. When Isaac grew up, he married and had 2 sons, Esau and Jacob. Esau had 5 sons and Jacob had 12. Abraham's children would multiply like the stars in the heaven, just like God promised. God's message. I will be your God forever and ever. You and your relatives will be my special people. My blessings will be with you and your children and your children's children through 1,000 generations.
Wow, good for Abraham. He just got up and went, just like God asked him to do. Could you do that? Could I do that? I would like to think I could, but I can't honestly say. God's plan for him and Sarah was amazing. Did you ever think something was so impossible to happen that you laughed? Imagine how God felt. imagine how Abraham and Sarah felt. So while you're thinking about some of those questions, go to our website. There's links for activities, games, coloring pages, that kind of thing. I hope you have fun with them. And I hope to see you all back next week. Evie, Charlie, Violet, Lily, Will, Keegan, Grant, Baylor, and Broden, I hope to see you all back next week.